and feel and sense in this moment as she was singing our particular way of being an exclamation point on the planet. We are here, as I've said over the years, to localize a cosmic celebration. That the entire cosmos, the multidimensional, infinite expanding universes, galaxies, solar systems, planetary bodies are all in celebration. All of Mother Nature, all of living biology is in the vibration of celebration and appreciation for being able to participate in the realm of the divine. It happens naturally. We as spiritual beings having a human incarnation are growing and unfolding to participate in this celebration, to extract our attention from circumstances, conditions, life's challenges as our limited perception, so that we can enter consciously into a dynamic modality of celebration. I'm not saying that it is easy. I'm saying that it is simple, and with spiritual practice, we can live as celebrants of the divine presence. Our theme of the month has been your perception of wholeness. It's harvest time. Last week, we had the privilege of having the Reverend Julie Moret with us for those 3 services last week, and she brought the house down. She lifted the roof. We had to build a new one since she was here, and we're going to break that one down as well at some point. So we give great thanks for her and all of the spiritual teachers that come forth on this particular platform. And this is why we say it doesn't matter whether I'm physically here or not. Whenever there's someone here speaking, they're going to bring the most. They're going to bring the holy most through them according to their unique pattern. It's always uplifting, inspirational, transformational, and the like. Again, the theme, your perception of wholeness, it's harvest time. Many years ago, a man by the name of Ernest Shurtleff Holmes said that it is the perception of wholeness that is the consciousness that heals. And today, as we would up-level that language, we would perhaps say that our perception gives way to vision. That at a certain point, our perception gives way to a vision through spiritual practice, through prayer, through meditation, through whatever spiritual technology we're called to be participants in at that particular moment. Something happens, and our perception is captured by a vision. And that vision is the infinite possibility that's everywhere in its fullness, its luminous, its light. We begin to see with consciousness. I turned around to emphasize 360 degrees. We see life, the life the way that it really, really is. And so our work is to grow and to be able to see the way it is, and not merely to live from a limited perception, even though we all have perceptions, positionality, perspectives, points of view. We come to an awareness as we become conscious that those perceptions, those particular points of view, those particular positionalities are just curated by a sense of separation, and they're getting lost in time and space as the ultimate reality. But through prayer, through meditation, you're lifted into the timeless, dimensionless reality of love and peace and harmony and wholeness, not as a concept, not as sweet sentimentality, but as a reality. And it's interesting to note that today, it's 1,000 times easier to become enlightened than it was 2,000 years ago, because the vibration of the planet is much higher than it has ever been. So anyone who has an intention to wake up, an intention to wake up to their glorious nature, becomes a candidate for awakening. And as I was saying in the way of meditation service, surrender and availability are not passive. The moment you intend something, you are participating and allowing, so that your intention makes you available for the onrush of the Spirit as you. So anyway, as I was saying, Your perception yields itself to great vision, and we become aware that moment by moment by moment, immediately it's harvest time. That every thought, every word, every action brings immediate expression in your life. It's not that what you are going to harvest is sometime in the future. The thought that you are holding right this second, this second right now, this nanosecond right now is curating chemicals flowing through the body temple. It's curating where your brain coherence is, your blood rate variance. It's curating everything. And if it is chronic, it will ultimately manifest somewhere in time and space and in form. So it is always harvest time. So that means that you are becoming conscious of what's flowing through your awareness, so that as you expand your awareness, you are coming into higher and higher degrees of choice, which is a function of ever-expanding awareness, which is an indication of how much power you have. Feel into what I've just said there, because all of that can lead to you having an insight and a revelation that will set yourself free. Now, someone tell me right now what the topic is. Aliveness for life. Yes, I'm listening as you're listening, okay? Aliveness for life. So check this out. Life is alive. It's alive. It's teeming with aliveness. There's no death in life. Life is teeming with itself. It's a matter of truth. If you take a seed and plant it in the soil and it begins to grow, and if you turn that seed upside down in the ground, the aliveness in that seed will turn it right side up, and it will grow towards the sun. Life is alive, teeming with itself. And you are to wake up every single day with a sense of aliveness. Oh my God, I'm awake. Oh my God, I'm in gratitude. Oh my God, I'm in thanksgiving. Oh my God, I'm alive. I have another day of living, as the song was being sung. Think about this for a moment. If I say to you right now, I'm going to give you $1 million, how would you feel? And if I would say, I'm going to give you 10 million and perfect health, how would you feel? Now then I give you a choice. I'm going to give you $10 million and perfect health, but in 7 days, you're not going to wake up. You're only going to get this for 7 days, and then you're not going to wake up anymore. But you have a choice, waking up or $2 million in perfect health for 7 days. You would choose waking up. So why not wake up with the feeling tone of the $10 million and the perfect health? Why not wake up every single day with a sense of aliveness? This is choice. Why not wake up every single day with a sense of aliveness? Because that is the gift you have been given. Now, if you wake up through your prayer, through your meditation, I'm talking about activated prayer. I'm not talking about begging and beseeching a reluctant deity. I'm not talking about the God that's made in the human image that has anger management issues and things of that particular nature. I'm talking about the presence that is never an absence, that's everywhere in its fullness. If you wake up in total gratitude because you have awoken today, then, because it's harvest time, you'll begin to have the feeling tone of gratitude, thanksgiving, appreciation, all needs met. And then according to your uniqueness, that which you need for your legitimate needs will begin to show up and manifest as harmonizing prosperity, pure bliss, joy, and ecstasy, perfect health, and well-being. But you are not placing the cart before the horse, and you're not placing the course before the heart. You're opening up your heart so that you're having the feeling tone of aliveness and awakeness. I'm so grateful to be alive. Not I'm going to be grateful and to be alive when I get the 10 million. I'm grateful to be alive because I awoke this morning. Then everything in the body temple, the mental body, the subtle bodies, the astral body, all the bodies begin to vibrate at that dynamic frequency. And then as you're able to stabilize that, there is the manifestation of legitimate needs through the act of grace. And that is a grace, something that you can't earn, but it is something of a condition that you can create with the vibration of the vibration of aliveness. Woo, I like this. And then, you're living in the eternal now. You're living in that frequency now. In other words, we don't want to be happy-ish. We want to be happy. We don't want to be happy-ish. I'm happy-ish. No. You have the power to be happy right now, to be in joy right now. As a matter of fact, as I was speaking last Sunday at the cultural festival hosted by Ravi Shankar, Sri Ravi Shankar, that is, not the musician, I was reminding the people there that as citizens of the world, we have so much power to change the world. And we have given over our power to looking up to politicians and potentates and heads of state and things of that particular nature. It's a way of looking by which we diminish ourselves and think that they have certain kind of power, that we don't have the power, when in fact all of the powers actually belongs to the citizens. If they would but wake up to their glorious nature, they will moment by moment change the world, because the world is merely a perception held together by beliefs and opinions, points of view, and agreements of those beliefs, opinions, and points of view. And the moment citizens begin to wake up, take back their mind, they will begin to change the world in a very powerful way, and then the realm of ever-expanding good will reveal itself on earth. So we have so much power that we don't even know about, you see. And so as we go deeper and deeper and deeper, or wider, or I should say just more awake through spiritual practice, with the sense of the power that we have, we will be the individuals that will be louder vibrationally than the negativity and the hate that moves through the world society. We have to become more loud and more vibrant with aliveness than the hate that moves through our society. And that means to cultivate the dynamic feeling tone of love and forgiveness. What comes into my mind right now is the grandmother of Howard Washington Thurman. Her name was Nancy. And as the story goes, Nancy was living next to a racist white woman who didn't like the fact that the black people were living that close to her. So every single day she would take the chicken poop from her chickens and throw it into Grandma Nancy's backyard. She did this for years. So a number of years later, the woman got sick. And Grandma Nancy went to her house with flowers and lemons and said, "I heard you were sick. Here are some lemons, and here are some flowers. I hope you feel better," because Grandma Nancy was in the Christian faith in terms of love and forgiveness and joy and this type of thing. And the woman was amazed and said, "Where did you get the flowers and lemons?" She says, "Well, the chicken poop you threw in my backyard, it was used to grow the lemons and the flowers." She was strong enough to love. She was strong enough to hold the vibration, the frequency of peace. In the midst of poop, she turned poop into lemons. She turned poop into flowers and gave it back to the woman through the vehicle of love. This is the time, as I've been saying recently, where those of us who are revolutionaries of love are becoming the most strongest, most dominant force on the planet. But it comes from a sense of waking up with a deep sense of aliveness. Not waiting till you get the 10 million. But the fact that you can wake up. Because if you had the choice, you're going to get 10 million now, but you're only going to have it for a week, and then you're not going to wake up ever again. You're going to choose waking up right now, so you might as well wake up with joy. Say after me, if you will, wherever you are in the nations of the world, say, "I'm waking up with joy. I'm waking up with peace. I'm waking up with love. I'm just so glad to be waking up. I'm enthused about waking up. I'm strong in my awakening. And it's happening right now. So now what is happening with this vibration and frequency is that your limited perception is giving way to seeing a vision. Grandma Nancy saw the Christ in that woman. Grandma Nancy held the frequency of love and peace in the midst of poop being thrown in her backyard. Grandma Nancy carried the feeling tone of Jesus as she brought the lemons and the flowers, and lives were changed, rippled throughout that particular dynamic. What about you? What about me? What about we? There is a perception of wholeness that is the consciousness that heals, and then it yields itself to vision, right seeing. Now, all of this doesn't just happen. It happens just. It happens just according to moment by moment awareness that it's harvest time right this moment. So you say to yourself throughout the course of your day, that chronic thinking or thought forms, because there's a difference between mentation and thought forms and real thinking. Real thinking is inspiration. Chronic thought forms is just the regurgitation of thoughts that we've had over and over and over again that may come from trauma, may come from blame, may come from shame, may come from unhealed areas of our life. So we begin to look at ourselves and look at that and say, what am I harvesting by the constant holding on to those particular thoughts? What am I harvesting by what I'm about to say out of my mouth? What am I harvesting with vibration and frequency that I'm harvesting, I'm about to say right now? What am I harvesting with what I'm about to do right now? Now, if you can bring that, it's called, bringing your thoughts into the captivity under the consciousness of the Christ. You begin to bring those thoughts captive. You begin to hold them and become aware of them. You don't just let them just run rampant. Then transmutation takes place. And then you begin to be aware of how powerful you are. Circumstances, conditions, situations, people, places, and things do not have power over you. Your brain waves will change and begin to represent your feeling tone of, whoa, I'm glad I woke up today. Your brain waves will change to represent that particular frequency. And then though you will not be able to determine what happens to you to a degree, or what has happened to you, you can determine your brain waves, and so your interiority will change. Grandma Nancy could not stop the woman from throwing poop in her backyard, but she could curate her brain waves to a feeling tone of love so that which appeared to be happening to her backyard was not happening to her, so that she could live the frequency of love. She was that powerful. What about you? What about you? Where do you give up and give in to negativity? Where do you give up and give in to the lower frequencies of life and say, it is my right to give as good as I get? Where do you give up and give in to the lower frequencies of life and then harvest that? In other words, the universal presence by law does not care whether you're right. It only cares whether you're in alignment. In other words, if someone says something about you and then you feel that you're right to say something about them, the law says you're going to get what you give. It doesn't matter whether you are right or whether you are justified. You're going to get the energy that you're putting out. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? It's a hard teaching. It's difficult because we want to be right. We want to be justified. But we really want to be awake. We really want to be in alignment. And then we begin to discover what is called the perfect peace that passes human understanding. Grandma Nancy had a perfect peace. She couldn't stop the poop. She couldn't stop the person from hating her because of the color of her skin. But she had a peace that woman did not have. She had a sense of well-being, longevity, joy. And ultimately, her response was, here's some lemons, Here's some flowers. You created this. And so when individuals give you fertilizer, grow a magnificent tree. Grow some flowers. Grow some petunias. Grow some lemons. Grow an oak. Grow something. But don't be pulled into the fear, the doubt, and the worry. And then you'll see, woo, you'll see differently. Remember, the Spirit of the living God, the living one, the divine presence, does not make special people. We've all emerged as unique expressions of infinite potential. And everyone can now specialize according to their gifted nature and become a genius in their uniqueness. And then turn every act into an act of worship. This is what happens as we continue to grow and expand our awareness. Merely sweeping up the kitchen, washing a dish, or speaking, or singing, or dancing, or doing choreography, or art, whatever the case, does not become a job. It is now an act of celebratory worship. Something changes. So whatever you're called to do in a particular moment, your beingness of aliveness is in that act, and that act becomes worship, a sacrifice, which means to make sacred. Wow! Now, everything that I've just said now is not highfalutin. It's not far off. It's not way in the distance. It's a perspective away. It's a thought away. It's a breath away. It's an intention away. It's a moment of spiritual practice away until that spiritual practice becomes chronic, until it becomes regular, until it becomes consistent, and then breakthrough happens and perception gives way to vision. I'm telling you what I've seen, and I can't unsee it. Life is magnificent. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And the ground upon which you're standing right now is holy already. It's holy because you're standing there in love. Because you're standing there in peace. You're standing there in creativity. You're standing there in generosity. You're standing there as a response from the infinite. Shoo. 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 Close your eyes with me for a moment. And we go back to those two choices. You can have what you think you want in the material world, or you can wake up today. Feel the vibration of your enthusiasm around just waking up. I'm alive. I got another day of living. Great opportunities. I'm surrounded by infinite potential. Oh, there are infinite possibilities all around me. Oh, I'm so enthusiastic about the possibility of my day. Feel into that frequency right now. Feel into that. You're saying right now in this feeling tone that you are now seeking the realm of ever-expanding good. And you're available for all of the added things. But you're not going to put the added things in front of the thing. The thing is your conscious connection with the presence. That becomes your priority. Your conscious connection with the presence that is never an absence. That's your priority. Now you're available to all that comes with that. Harmonizing prosperity, health of the body, temple, the mental body, the emotional body. The feeling tone of self-love and appreciation that births wonderful relations, harmonizing friendships, doors opening for you to contribute your gift. And your gift becomes a way by which you worship the divine presence, celebrating your aliveness as an artist, celebrating your aliveness as an educator, celebrating your aliveness as a teacher, celebrating your aliveness as whatever your sacred calling is, beyond comparison. As I was saying in the earlier service, to compare yourself to someone else is to condemn yourself to a kind of hell, because you can never be compared to anyone, because you are a unique expression of infinite potential. And you don't want anybody else's issues. You only want your own, because they've been curated by your soul for your own evolution. I like that. Once again, close your eyes. Feel that sense of aliveness that you get when you just wake up. Aliveness for life. One day at a time. Say out loud, if you will, with me now, I am alive for life. One day at a time. I am alive for life. One day at a time. I am alive. Aliveness is moving through me. I am a celebrant of the divine. My life is alive. I am life personified. And my seeming upside down world is being turned right side up. You can say that. My seeming upside down world is being turned right side up right now. I feel it in my bones. In my bones. In my soul. Right now. Let yourself feel this. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself feel it. It's harvest time. That feeling right in this nanosecond has just shifted the inner chemical structure of your body temple. Right now. This thought of great possibility and love is shifting yourself from limited perception to great vision of possibility. Right now. Let this feeling manifest itself now. As all needs met, let it manifest itself. As perfect health, let it manifest itself. As divine well-being, let it manifest itself beyond happy-ish to real happiness. And let it continue to happen in the nowness of this moment. We continue our inward glance in this moment. I heard the inner voice saying, "That's it." Okay, I said, okay. You're the boss. We turn within in this moment. We extract our attention from the so-called external world. The world of seeming effects and circumstances. Situations, people, places, things, conditions, situations, all that occupies our mind. We hear, Occupy until I come. Occupy the higher frequency. Occupy the higher frequency of love and joy and oneness. Occupy. So our mind is not occupied now by the fear, the doubt, and the worry of the world. No. Our mind is occupied by the presence. Gratitude, thanksgiving, divine appreciation begins to run through our awareness now. And we begin to recognize. We hear the presence of the living God saying, you better recognize. We begin to recognize the presence of love and beauty, even if we are the ones that have to bring it. And that which we're recognizing is emanating from the depth of our being. We're one with God. With one with the divine love, we're one with the divine abundance, the pure joy, the bliss, and the ecstasy. We are one. And from the consciousness of oneness, the soul, your logos is being spoken, the word of God from the soul of connection with oneness. I have the privilege of speaking this word right here and right now for each and every one of us, knowing that there's only one of us here, revealing itself through the many. I speak it, that we may be free. Free from worry, doubt, and fear. Free from lack, limitation, scarcity. Free from the experience of disconnection. Free to express ourselves. Free to contribute. Free to be more and more and more and more of what we truly are. The word is spoken. And this word is a vibrational frequency. A law. It's a law. This is now becoming our predominant law of freedom, our predominant law of joy, our predominant law of abundance, our predominant law of health, our predominant law of well-being, our predominant law of wellness, our predominant law of wealth and wonder. Oh. This word is such a law that it transmutes anything that would hinder, delay, obstruct, or deny the fullness of life from moving through us. Oh, yes, it does. So that every organ and action and function of the body temple is now vibrating at the frequency of wholeness right now. The body temple, which is mainly water, now is coated with the feeling and the vibrational frequency of health. Our body temples, health and well-being, our body of affairs, beauty and abundance. And it's all happening right now. When is it happening? When is it happening? When is harvest time? It's happening right now. Oh, right now, we're free right now. We're free right now. We're free right now. And we are stabilizing the feeling tone of divine freedom right now. We're stabilizing it. Oh, I'm free. I'm a celebrant. Feel that. Feel that. Celebrants, allowing all of your actions to now be activities of worship of the divine, closer than our breathing, nearer than our hands and feet. Feel it.
between each drop of rain, holds all the stillness of a beautiful refrain, a pause with each breath brings new inspiration from the ember that starts a flame in our heart, from the fire of creation. With sisters and brothers, side by side, across this lane, walking together, step by step, hand in hand. The wonders we are, endless variations of the ember that starts a flame in our heart from the fire of creation.
I like that. The fire of creation. As the outer eye is closed and you are choosing to feel your aliveness, which is life, which is the presence of God in the midst of you, the activity of your awareness. Wherever you are on the globe right now, we are a center of coherence around the fundamental truth of oneness with the presence. And whatever is spoken from this center is law. So we embrace these individuals who have reached out for prayer, and they're really reaching in